Another type of hazard that can occur with earthquakes is a tsunami. So a tsunami can begin when an earthquake happens at the bottom of the ocean, and as these seismic waves enter into the ocean, the P waves can actually push the surface of the ocean up and create a wave on top of the ocean. In the middle of the ocean, these are not very high at all, but it is setting up a waveform that then begins to move towards the land. And what happens is as the water wedges out towards the land, we get into more and more shallow water, but that entire waveform still has to fit in there. So the wave grows higher and higher. And this wave, by the time it reaches land, can be 100 feet or more tall. And so this can just create a devastating wave, a tsunami, that's going to hit the land and potentially destroy buildings and cause loss of life. One of the most famous tsunamis in recent history was the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami that happened in the Indian Ocean and affected Southeast Asia. This wave was extremely high. This is showing it coming into a resort area. You could read the story with this link here. But this wave caused massive destruction, and we're getting better and better at giving early warning when these things are coming. We're putting instruments in the ocean to detect the pressure, and we're actually able to see if P waves are setting up these tsunamis. Because further out in the ocean, this would hardly be noticeable. It would just be a wave in the ocean at that point. And this shows some of the terrible destruction after that tsunami. It was just it affected a lot of areas in Southeast Asia and had a great loss of life associated with it. This is probably one of the biggest seismic hazards that we face here in the Pacific Northwest. As you remember, we have the Juan de Fuca plate over here going beneath the North American plate. We have a subduction zone here, and this portion of the subduction zone has not moved in a long while. The last time the subduction zone had significant movement on it and a large earthquake was in 1700. Exactly that year, it's recorded with where certain forests were drowned and other things, because it set up a giant tsunami that washed in to the Pacific Northwest shoreline and really encroached on the land there. There could have been Native American people living there, but there wasn't the sort of infrastructure we have now with cities like Seattle and Portland, which would be greatly affected by this sort of tsunami. And that's why as you drive down the Oregon coast, you may notice tsunami maps when you're entering in and out of tsunami zones. If a tsunami were to occur along the Cascadia fault zone, it would probably be a matter of minutes before the tsunami came in. And of course, the idea there is just reach higher ground, get above 100 feet or so. This shows about different evacuation routes to get up into the green area here, where hopefully I think it would be safe, as this giant wave would crash into the shoreline of Oregon.